Okay, Chase Young the Blue Futon. I just did Bill and Ted, and I realized I did watch another movie. I've been watching a lot recently. I haven't been filming, but here we go. WB Archive Collection, Night Moves, Gene Hackman, with I think James Woods and other. So let's see if this really older movie, come on, Chase, a movie from '75. Did this need to come out of the archives and become a Blu-ray release? Let's find out. So Night Moves, what's it about? Well, first I'll say this is kind of a weird movie. It is a private eye movie where Gene Hackman is a private eye. He's having some problems at home with his wife and other, just some marital affairs and life issues. But he gets a case from a rich actress that wants her to find. Gosh dang it, she wants Gene Hackman to find her daughter. So he kind of goes on a venture to like a Hollywood movie set, finds James Wood, who's a mechanic, to figure out where the daughter is. And actually, the daughter is in Florida while he is in California. But of course, before going to Florida, he goes to New Mexico to watch this plane scene, which is pretty cool stunts with the plane in this movie, and a pretty awesome stunt at the very end of the movie with the plane and a boat, which comes out of nowhere actually for the whole point of this movie. But this whole movie is about figuring out where the daughter is. What does this daughter have to do with everything, as well as the mother? And what is the sinister plot between what's happening in Florida and California and in the movie business? So, this is a very weird movie to a point where the plot is a 16-year-old having sex with older men, which is a very, with everything happening in California right now with, about the sex age and stuff, where you're thinking, oh shit, has Hollywood always been about 16-year-olds and, doing some dirty shit to them? So this is kind of, you put it that way. Of course, the girl has to be over 16 because there are some nudity scenes in this movie of like, and you're like, oh shit. Watching it is very uncomfortable, and the movie made it that way where you're watching this girl get undressed, and she is scandalous, and she's doing it because her mother kind of came back at her mother. And the good thing about this movie, it purposely made it uncomfortable. It's only implied that she's doing some really dirty stuff just to get back at her mother because her mother had sex with this guy, so she's gonna have sex with this guy as well. So it does have a really sinister subplot with it, but you don't see anything happening sexually at all. You actually see some nudity, but you know for a fact that nudity is not a 16-year-old because you couldn't do that. But there is nudity, and it does make you uncomfortable just knowing that she's... Yeah, it really does make you uncomfortable, that scenes of that, and it does it correctly, but still makes you feel like shit watching this movie. But the actual plot of the movie is slow, methodical, and actually fun because you don't realize what's happening until the very end, and that's kind of cool. But at the very end, the whole boat and plane scene is fantastic with the Uzi plane that glide on the water and it hitting a boat, having some cool action set piece. That's the only action set piece really in this movie. There is another one where it crashed and something happens to some of the characters, as well as there's another one, just showing a person doing stunts in a plane. Other than that, you've seen this movie before, but I say that when this movie came out in '75, which makes you wonder if you actually seen this movie before, or is this one of the first movies to do it. But Night Moves is a weird movie for what it does of the characters' dialogue. Some of it doesn't make sense, where some of these characters are like, you have a bipolar aspect to it of like the older stepfather in Florida with the 16-year-old, which nothing happens to them, like, sexually because of stepfather. Or maybe it does. It implies something. It implies that she wants to do something, but I think the stepfather's like, no, get her away from me. She's really fucking weird of what she's trying to do. So there is that plot where this girl is just out there to get back at her mother, and it is kind of just sinister at that point. But Night Moves is an interesting movie, weird dialogue, weird story, but it works. The action set piece at the very end is very pristine, very cool. I enjoyed it. The movie as itself is an okay movie. For 1975, it works for that time range, but it is still a weird movie of what they decided to do with the dialogue, the plot. Some of these characters are very bipolar, so you're like, weird. But anyway, is it good to come out of the archives? I do think so. God, This is like my 7th review today. I'm tired. So anyway, Night Moves will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futon reviews at 60%. So this is the Critics' New Scores gave this one. So yeah, the critics at 83% with 18 of them. And the audience score is 71% with 3366. And there's no critic consensus. I'm just looking at the picture. Sorry. It's a weird picture to choose actually to talk about this movie. But yeah, I give it a 60%. They gave it an 83 and a 71. Yeah. I guess I'm still just uncomfortable with that that subplot with the younger girl and what she's trying to do. It just doesn't feel right. Of course, the nudity did feel uncomfortable. What they're trying to show, but the story itself, it was a fun story. Good action set piece at the very end, and it does make sense. Like, even though it's uncomfortable, you understand it. People are like, "Oh, cutesies." I've never seen cutesies. I probably will never watch it because I don't want to watch 11-year-olds blow up used condoms, twerk, sexualize himself. Nah. But anyway, do you agree with this? 83 to 71 or the 60? Chase Young at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. What do you think is Buffton, Topi, Buftonians? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace and love, and be more pro and less anti. Night Moves. Move through the night. Wait, why is it really called Night Moves? Huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's in the dialogue in this movie. I've had hard nipples for 30 minutes. Wait, what?